Quentin, thanks for the time and joining me here. I just got to start with this. Every hockey player who comes in here to San Jose at the start of a training camp, they want to make the Sharks roster. Obviously, that didn't happen, but everybody thought and said you had a really good camp. I saw that as well, too. Probably some mixed feelings right now, right? If we're being honest.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the goal is to come in and, make the team, like you said. But, yeah, I think I had a good step this year in training camp with, my work ethic and, how I was playing. And I think obviously got rewarded with some preseason games and playing some good minutes in those games. And, yeah, obviously it's upsetting. The end goal is to make the team, but I'm excited to the steps I've made so far and continue on this year.
That's human nature, right? Like that's the way it's supposed to be. Are you given any pointers, any things that they liked from seeing you or anything to work on? Is there some direction when you're assigned here to the Barracuda?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I didn't get too much negative feedback. It was just, obviously I'm a younger player still and, just kind of getting used to that game. I think I felt good with, the things that I'm good at and, even most areas of the game I felt good out there. It's just some decision-making things.
Sure.
Just, play. You got less time with the puck. You got less time everywhere. So just getting used to that, and I think being down here at the Barracuda is going to help me with that.
It was also a very competitive camp, right? Like let's be honest about that too. A lot of good players, not a lot of spots. That being said, like all that aside, I think you got a lot of momentum going into this season, and I think if we're being honest about chances and opportunities, they're going to happen this season. How do you mentally stay right, prepared, and ready for when that phone call, that text comes to you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's nice to be here, right? Kind of right in the backyard. Some teams have, a little tougher travel for that way. So it's nice you can have eyes on you the whole time. Practice games, everything. So yeah, like I said, it's easy. We play the same systems. I can learn just as much here as I can learn there. It's just the fact of paying attention to detail for me, and hopefully that call comes sooner than later.
So much can be measured by a hockey player's output, stats, points, goals, a lot of metrics. But how about your play off the puck? How has that evolved, improved? How much do you focus on that now?
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing with me this camp was, I didn't really light up the scoreboard in the preseason games or stuff like that. It was just off the puck. I think my details and, pace was good and was working hard to get pucks back, stuff like that. So, yeah, obviously it was a little different for me. I'm used to, scoring goals, making a lot of plays, but just focusing on that this camp and, throughout the summer has helped me a lot, and I think that's, why they were so impressed with me.
How do you describe the difference in just physicality alone from the OHL to the AHL to the NHL? Is it like layers upon layers of difference? Yeah,
obviously, the OHL, it's kind of the same for every league. You come in, I was 16 years old, and it's kind of like this now, just learning the pace and stuff. But, the last couple of years where I'm 19, 18 years old, and there's, I'm playing against 16-year-old, it's a little easier, not easier, but just, physicality. You can kind of shrug those guys off. But, up here and, in the NHL as well, it's, every guy's big, fast, and strong. And, the physicality and pace is just a lot higher for every level you jump. So I think for me in the OHL, it kind of worked the same way, just getting used to that physicality and pace, and then, bringing those skills I've had just into my game after, working on those other things and getting used to them.
Did you get bigger from last season to this season? Some weight, some size?
I stayed the same weight. I just, shed a little body fat before, training camp this year. And, I felt like it helped me being a little quicker. And, obviously definitely got a lot stronger this summer, just working out the whole summer. The group I have, obviously, going to get stronger. So, it's nice. I came into camp and, the tests and stuff went a lot better than, dev camp. So it was nice to see that hard work pay off.
If you're even not getting bigger, I know you said there were some small changes maybe in size, but is there such a thing as just playing bigger?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was another thing for me, just finishing hits and being physical. I'm a bigger body, so just having to do that, the Sharks have a lot of, skilled players already, and if I can bring, some physicality and, some just playing hard into that, I think I'll be good there.
So the AHL schedule is certainly interesting at the beginning of the season, where you basically only play on weekends, and there's all that midweek time of practice sessions. How do you hope to use that? I mean, the games will happen, but they're so infrequent. How do you hope to use that downtime or off time to better yourself?
Yeah, it's nice to have that time to recover. Obviously, games, especially in the AHL, they're really physical, and I got a little taste of that last year. Just how tired and sore your body is after each game. So having a little extra time at the beginning during the week to recover, and then still be able to lift pretty heavy and get better that way without having games in between every other day. So it's nice that first month and a half. That's only weekends. It'll be nice to take advantage of those weeks.
All right, last thing is, how do you hope to grow this season? And we can talk about off seasons and getting better and stronger, and I guess it's a different beast to maybe improve your game during the season, but what do you hope you look like as a player, like by the end of this hockey season, even compared to right now?
Yeah, I think just defensively, I want to get a lot better. I want to be more reliable, two ways. And I want to be a guy that can be used in any situation. I think I have the tools for it and the brain for it. So just trying to get in, just even if I'm not on the penalty kill, just watching those videos, paying attention to what they're doing, just trying to implement more defense in my game.
Well, I'm glad you're just in San Jose nonetheless, and hopefully with the Sharks, but also with the Barracuda too. Q, I appreciate this.
Yeah, thanks, Brody. Appreciate it.